My wife texted, "Need space. I'm in Cabo with my boss, don't wait up." Now she's homeless and begging me to take her back. The text came at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was folding laundry when my phone buzzed. "Need space. I'm in Cabo with my boss. Don't wait up." I read it 3 times, thinking it was a joke. Sarah and I had been married for 6 years. We had a house, 2 dogs, and a mortgage together. My hands started shaking. I called her phone. It rang twice, then went straight to voicemail. I sat on the edge of our bed, staring at the wall, feeling something inside me crack quietly, like ice under too much weight. I didn't sleep that night. I kept replaying our last conversation, the one where she said she was going on a work retreat. I believed her because I trusted her. That trust felt like a stupid, heavy thing now, sitting in my chest like a stone. By morning, I had already called her sister, her best friend, even her mother. Nobody knew anything, or nobody wanted to tell me. I went to work in a daze, answering emails I don't remember writing, nodding at meetings I couldn't focus on. 3 days later, Sarah posted a photo. She was on a beach in Cabo, sunglasses on, holding a cocktail, laughing next to her boss, Michael. The caption said, "Sometimes you have to choose yourself." I stared at that photo until my eyes burned. Our friends started texting me, some in shock, some already knowing. Apparently, this wasn't sudden. Apparently, people had seen them together for months at work dinners and conferences. I was the only one who didn't know. That kind of humiliation sits differently than heartbreak. It burns slower. I didn't beg. I didn't call again. Instead, I did something quiet but permanent. I called a lawyer the next morning. I changed the locks on the house, which was in my name from before we married. I moved her clothes into storage and canceled the joint credit card. I wasn't trying to be cruel. I was trying to survive. Betrayal has a way of making you efficient, almost cold, like your body knows what your heart can't process yet. I stopped checking her social media. I started going to the gym at 5 a.m. just to feel something other than numb. A week later, she came back from Cabo. She showed up at the house with 2 suitcases, expecting to walk right in. Her key didn't work. She knocked, confused, calling my name through the door. I opened it, but I stood in the doorway, not stepping aside. She looked surprised, like she hadn't considered this outcome. "Where am I supposed to go?" she asked, her voice cracking. I told her that wasn't my problem anymore. She stood there for a long moment, suitcases in hand, before turning and walking back to her car. Word got around fast in our small town. Michael, her boss, was married too. Once his wife found out, everything fell apart on his end. He was fired within weeks for violating company policy about relationships with subordinates. Sarah lost her job shortly after, since HR investigated once complaints started surfacing. Suddenly, the woman who flew to Cabo without a second thought had no income, no partner, and soon, no place to stay. Her parents, disappointed in how everything unfolded, weren't eager to take her in either. Karma doesn't always move fast, but when it moves completely. A month passed. I started therapy, which honestly saved me. I learned that healing wasn't about revenge, it was about rebuilding trust in myself. I started sleeping better. I reconnected with old friends I had drifted from during the marriage. I even started painting again, something I hadn't touched in years. Life felt smaller but steadier, like a house with fewer rooms but stronger walls. I wasn't happy yet, but I wasn't drowning either. Every day felt like proof that I could survive something that once felt impossible to survive. Then, out of nowhere, Sarah texted me. "I made a huge mistake. I have nowhere to go. Can we talk?" I stared at the message for a long time. Part of me, the part that remembered the good years, wanted to respond. But a bigger part remembered that beach photo, that cocky caption, that silence when I called her the night she left. I didn't reply right away. I let the message sit there, unanswered, the same way she once let my calls go to voicemail. 2 days later, she showed up at my office, of all places. She looked different, thinner, tired, without the confidence she carried in Cabo. She said she was staying in a motel, that her savings were almost gone, that she regretted everything. She said Michael had used her, that his wife took him back, and she was the one left with nothing. I listened, but I felt strangely calm, like watching rain through a window instead of standing in it. I told her I was glad she found clarity, but clarity doesn't erase consequences. She started crying, right there in the office lobby. She said she still loved me, that CABO was a mistake driven by boredom and flattery, not real feelings. She asked if there was any chance for us. I thought about the locks I changed, the trust one rebuilt piece by piece, the mornings I learned to enjoy silence instead of fearing it. I told her that love isn't the only thing a marriage needs. It needs respect, and she had thrown that away the moment she chose a beach and a boss over a phone call home. I didn't yell. I didn't gloat. I simply told her the truth, calmly, the way you'd explain something to someone who genuinely didn't understand the weight of their actions. I said I hope she found stability, but that stability wouldn't come from me. She nodded, wiping her face, and finally seemed to accept that this door, unlike the house door weeks earlier, wasn't going to open again. She walked out of the office slowly, and for the first time since that Tuesday night text, I felt something close to peace. Months later, I heard she moved back in with her parents in another state, trying to rebuild her life from nothing. I don't feel hatred anymore, just distance, the kind that comes from finally understanding your own worth. I still have the dogs, the house, and a version of myself that's stronger than before. Some people learn respect the hard way, through loss instead of love. I didn't destroy her life. She did that herself, one text message at a time, starting with 4 words, "Don't wait up."